I've clearly got a soft spot for a bench with a lovely view. So for lunch today, I'm having a rice dish. And being able to cook perfect rice is one of those skills that's good to have for at home and when you're outdoors. But it's not as easy as it looks. When you think about it, rice is the perfect camping or backpacking meal. It packs down really small, it's dehydrated, it doesn't go off. You just need to add water to it. But there are loads of different old wives' tales on how to cook it perfectly. I don't know about you, but I've had a few instances where, especially with camping pots, that the rice has burnt on the bottom of the pot. So some recipes say 1 part water, 1 part rice. Some say 2 parts water to 1 part rice. And then you've got to think about simmer control and stuff like that, which is very difficult to do sometimes with a camp stove. So I've got a foolproof way to cook it every time for all different varieties of rice. I'm using basmati rice today, but works with jasmine rice, brown rice. I say you can't fail. I've never failed since I've done it this way anyway. So rice by itself can be a little bit bland. So to jazz things up a little bit, I've got some tuna infusions with sweet chilli. I've not tried this before, but again, this will stay in your backpack, not go off. So the gear I brought with me is the most difficult to use to cook, just to prove a point. I've got titanium pot. I'm using an alcohol burner, so I've got no simmer control whatsoever. It is all or nothing with this system. So this is the MSR Titan kettle and the Vesuv, got it right this time, windshield / pot support. Fits in there like that, and a basic alcohol burner. Right, let's sort this rice out. So you don't need very much of this, to be fair. That's good, like a little spout. Pour a bit in the pot. That's going to expand, so it's actually going to be enough. It's resealable as well, even better. Get that back in my backpack. Right, so some people say that whenever you're cooking rice, to get it perfect, you need to rinse your rice first. It's entirely up to you. Depends on how much water I've got, but you swirl it round and you'll find that the water goes quite cloudy. You can see the water's gone quite milky there. So I'm just going to drain that off. Although, like I said, you don't need to do this. It just helps your rice to be individual little grains when you come to serve it up. So when the rice instructions say use 1 part rice, 1 part water, and then you boil it up and simmer it up for 12 minutes, whatever it is, the theory behind that is that the rice will absorb a certain amount of water till it's cooked, and the rest of it will evaporate, leaving you with just perfect fluffy rice in your pot. But once you've got alcohol stoves into the mix or a hot camp stove, that's when you get the rice burnt on the bottom. So the method that I use is that I just make sure that I've got a good amount of water. The rice is never going to absorb it all, but I'm just going to drain it off at the end, anything that I don't need, and I just keep giving it a stir every now and again. But you have to keep testing the rice, so rather than waiting for the rice to just finish up in a fluffy consistency in the pot, once you've drained it off, you'll see what I mean. As you can see there is a lot more water than there is rice. Let's get the stove fired up. Should be enough. Just going to bring this to the boil. Once this is boiling, it should take about 10 minutes to cook, but different people like their rice differently. I like mine like I like my pasta, just a little bit of stiffness and chewiness to it still. Some people like it to go soggy, so you just cook it for a little bit longer so it absorbs a little bit more water. So in effect, this is just cooking rice like you would cook your pasta. You know, you would never think of just having the exact amount of water in there for your pasta to absorb and cook. You know, you just end up with a burnt mess on the bottom of your pot. You always end up draining it off. So cook your rice the same and it never sticks. While that's doing its thing, let's go and have a little nosy. There's loads of these little paths. There's Sheffield. We've got the Peak District over that way. I better get back to my lunch. You never know, it might go wrong. What was I just saying? It's bubbling over. We don't need that lid on anyway. Just move it around, just make sure nothing's stuck on the bottom. As you can see, this burner's all or nothing. And at the moment it's full throttle. Now I haven't put a timer on or anything like that. I'm just gonna keep testing. Try the rice. See, that's still a bit hard, so it's not ready yet. Try again in another 2 minutes. And then it's cooked to just how you like it. Probably about 7 or 8 minutes that. So we're still not quite there yet. But it's definitely cooking. No sticking at all. We're not a million miles away there. Let's have a little taste. Yep, done enough for me that. Right, so now I'm going to get it off the heat. Extinguish the flame. And I'm going to drain it off. Get as much of the liquid out as you can. Right, I'm just going to let that sit with the lid off just for a few minutes. That lets any remaining moisture, you know, evaporate away. Give it the odd stir. So you can see that there's still a little bit of moisture on there. In an ideal world, it would go through a sieve or something, but I haven't got one. So I've just drained it through that little hole on the top of my pot. I've just had a horrible thought that I haven't bought a tin opener. I thought it was a ring pull. Let's have a look what we've got in here. I was hoping it'd be a bit saucier than that, but never mind. Give that a quick stir around. Let's get it dished up. I could just eat it all in my pot, but it's easier to wash this up than it is my titanium pot. This little tiny flexible silicone spatula. It's good for scraping stuff out. So if I pinch the big one from home, I get into trouble. Right, there's my perfectly cooked rice for me. Get this tuna on. Oh, so there is a little bit of oil and looks nice this actually. Not too shabby. See what it tastes like. I'll try a bit of the rice by itself first. That's just how I like it. Not too dry. Try it with a bit of the tuna. So I could have put that all in the pot and warmed it all up. I don't think it needs it. What do you think? The tuna's nice. So these were on offer at the time for £1 from Morrison's. Don't know what they are full price. Probably a couple of quid. But they're handy to have in your backpack. And that is a really easy lunch. A really tasty lunch as well. It's another fantastic spot for a bit of lunch. I feel like I'm on a bit of a mission now to find little benches or picnic tables If you come across any in the Peak District, let me have the GPS coordinates. I'll go and cook something there, give you a shout out. This might be controversial. I prefer tuna and rice to tuna pasta. And tuna pasta's a staple for a lot of people, isn't it? So this doubles up as a pretty good spoon. And there's no washing up. You can just scrape everything off. Let me show you. Get right on the edges. That's just going to need a bit of a wipe out. Same with the titanium pot, this gets right into edges. No waste. All cleaned up, all washed up and back on the trail. So being able to cook perfect rice opens up loads of possibilities when it comes to decent meals outdoors. You can add little things like we've done there, little tuna flavoured things. Make some chili con carne if you can pick up a bit of minced beef. Curry. Might do something with curry. What's your favourite curry? Let me know in the comments below. Can you handle the spicy stuff? Anyway, if you've liked the video, do me a favour as always. Really appreciate it if you hit the thumbs up button, and if you want to see more of the same, like maybe a curry, then consider subscribing to the channel. But I need to head back. Got to go and pick the gaffer up from work. Thank you for watching. See you next time.